Hey guys, happy Labor Day. It's Mama D coming at ya. Hopefully, you had a great weekend. I saw a shit ton of campers today, which made my heart super happy. At Venus today, which was awesome. And I'm excited to bring to you guys episode number 5 of GTV. And I have a real treat for you today. We have Amanda Clausen, so she's going to be joining us here in just a second. Let me give you a quick intro to her. She's been a client with us since 2015. And for those of you that have been in the studio and have seen her in class, she is fucking beast mode. She is one of the reasons why we have to just keep getting more and more weight at Venus. Like, we have to keep adding weight to the barbells and keep getting bigger kettlebells. She's one of the beastettes that totally rocks it out at the studio. So I'm excited to bring her on today. Let me see if I can bring her on our split screen. My country squirrels are getting her added. My country squirrels Wi-Fi is adding her on right now. But I'm super excited to dive in, share her story with you. She is a mom. She has a little guy, so she's busy. She gets it. She understands, trying to juggle the mom work-life balance while getting in your own self-care. I think she's nailed that down. There she is. Hello. Hi, Amanda.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I'm
Good.
like, where do I look?
Right there is fine. Right there is perfectly
Okay.
fine. We missed you at boot camp today. I was like super excited. I was hoping you were
I
going to show up
know.
and beast out with us.
I
It's all
wish I
good.
could. I know my husband's work schedule this season is crazy. He works for a winery, so this season
Oh
is really
yeah.
busy. So I have to watch the kid so he can do
It's
that.
it's
So,
the time. It's the time. So I was just
mhm.
telling the world of Facebook about the fact that did you know you've been with us since 2015? I just totally did my research and peeped on that.
I didn't think it was 2015. I thought maybe 16, but yeah, 2015. That's
I
awesome.
know that is super awesome. I
Yeah.
was telling them also you're one of the reasons why we have to keep increasing the kettlebell poundage and all the weights at the studio because you beast out at the studio, which is awesome.
Yeah,
And
I
we
love
love it.
it.
We love seeing you
Yeah.
guys get stronger. So it's
Mhm.
super motivating for us coaches to push you. So give us a little bit of background. Like, tell us how old you are. Let us know your mom's status. I know you have a baby of the real human kind. My previous guests have all had fur
Yeah.
babies. So
Yeah.
tell us about that.
I am 31 and my son is 2, just turned 2 in July. So it's been a roller coaster of just new, amazing things. And that's part of the reason I work out as hard and as often as I do so I can keep up with him. So he's got a lot of energy, but yeah, so it's been fun though. Having a 2-year-old, it's fun.
For sure.
So.
So,
Mhm.
how is it juggling momhood and like trying to take care of yourself? Because before you have a kid, it's like it's just you. You can get your workouts in.
Mhm.
Really, the only excuse you have is like making the time for it or making it a priority. But you were working out pretty hardcore with us prior to having
Mhm.
your son. And then you had your son and you still are there making the time for that. So, what is
Mhm.
probably the hardest part with that?
The hardest part is just trying to find the time, and there is always time to do it, but it's balancing and sharing with your significant other the time, time for him to make for himself and time for yourself. So we do a great job at sharing that. But it is very challenging. There are days where you don't want to do it. Either you're just too tired or you just want to spend time with your family. But if I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
spend time with them, I need to make sure that I'm keeping myself healthy and happy. So that's why I stress to my family, I need your support. And if I'm working out, your understanding is really important to my success, and to my happiness too. And overall, I just feel like I can give more when, I'm working out or I'm eating healthy, eating right. So, but it is hard to be a mom and work full time and to work out but it can happen. Anyone can do it. You just got to find what works for you and your family.
Okay, so you work a traditional 40-hour week, probably, right?
Plus,
Ish
yeah.
plus. Okay,
Yeah.
and you have a
Yeah.
2-year old. Um,
Yeah.
so I hear a lot of times like I don't have time, and
Hmm.
sometimes that means we have to sacrifice a little bit of sleep or going to bed a little bit early, right? So tell us what
Hmm.
your workout schedule looks like so you can be a busy mom and
Yeah.
also work and do all that. So what does your schedule look like
So
to
my
make it
schedule
happen?
Monday through Friday, I get up at 4:30 a.m. I give myself about a half hour, 40 minutes to kind of wake up, stretch. I use my foam roller to help stretch my back before I go to boot camp. So boot camp I do Monday, Wednesday, Fridays in the morning. Try to do that at the 5:30 a.m. class. And then morning workouts work better for me. Best just get it done. And I always feel like I have more energy in the morning anyway, rather than after work. So I love the
Mm-hmm.
5:30 a.m. On Tuesday, Thursdays, sometimes I'll do the 6:45 p.m. boot camps. But I just joined a gym too, so to help with more. I like running now, and so I do more of the treadmill running and more of the isolating with the machines and stuff of the muscles. So
Good,
um,
good.
so that's I do 5 days a week is my goal, 5 days, and then sometimes I'll hit a Saturday.
Yeah.
So it just kind of depends.
So you're carving out the time, you're making it happen. So for all
Yeah.
you moms out there, sometimes we got to get off Facebook a little early at nighttime in bed, right? Like sitting there scrolling
Yeah.
through or Instagram,
Right.
and put your
Right.
sleep as a priority so that way in the morning you can
Mhm.
wake up, kick ass, and repeat, right? That's what I find. My morning exercisers are definitely the most successful, and most consistent for sure with their workouts, for sure. So what do you find keeps you the most motivated in terms of staying on track? Can you see me? You froze on my end. Can you guys see me? Is it just my internet? It's very possible. Let's see if we lost her. Okay, there she is. Um, Amanda. So, let's see. Okay, there we go. Yes. I'm adding you back in, Amanda. It's okay. It happens. This is glitches in the internet system. There you are. All right. So what I was saying was, what keeps you motivated?
Keeps me motivated. Looking back at my past and never wanting to let myself down again. I used to weigh 250 pounds. In high school, I was
Yeah, I
quite
remember you telling me
overweight.
that. Mm-hmm.
And I had gone through a period where I was taking high blood pressure medicine. I was only 21 years old, and I said, I can't do this. And so I changed everything in my life, dedicated myself to the gym, and lost 75 pounds
That's
many years
amazing.
ago.
Yeah, that's great.
And
I love
so
it.
since then, I can't go back. I refuse to go back. I have gained a bit, just off and on. Meeting my husband, we like to go out with friends and drink and have fun, and but there's always a point where tell myself, just you can't go back to where you were, and I never have. I got close after being pregnant, but that's why I started coming back full force to Goddess Body Boot Camp, and because I couldn't be where I was. That would
Yeah,
be the biggest disappointment, was to let myself down, and I'd never wanted to be that way again. So
I
that's
love it.
that's what keeps me motivated.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you had this like huge why. Like, you've been there, you felt that. And that's honestly one of my reasons too. Same thing, like having been there, I know what that feels like. It's less,
Hmm.
like I think we get wrapped up in like what we look like too, because, that's a huge part of it. But it's
Hmm.
also like I felt like crap all the time. And I just didn't realize it because I
Yeah.
just always felt like crap. And I'm like, I'm always tired, I became breathing heavy going
Yeah.
up the stairs, like all this stuff, didn't even realize
Hmm.
it. And once you get past that, you're like, I do not want that again. So it's
Yeah.
front of mind for you. So yeah,
Yeah.
congratulations.
I
That's
was
awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. I was so unhappy, and you don't realize it until you do make a change and you
Mm-hmm.
look back and you see it was, wow, I was really unhappy. And
Yeah,
so I'm glad a light bulb went off in my head, something,
yeah.
I needed to move forward and change my life for the good of myself and for my family too. So
Mm-hmm. do you think in terms
Oh, sorry.
of nutrition, right? Because the exercise, like, it's huge. It's obviously what we do, but somewhere along the line, your nutrition had to change too, because from
Mhm.
250 pounds, something changed. So what would you say, like, your habits were that you changed over the years, or things that you swapped out or you used to do that you don't do now that contributed to where you were versus where you are now?
Yeah, fast food, cut it. I mean, that was the biggest
Yeah.
thing. High school, we would go to fast food all the time. Even if we weren't even hungry, we would just go just to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I cut out fast food, cut out soda,
Mm-hmm.
just junk. And my biggest problem is snacking. So that
Mm-hmm.
I still struggle with. I just like it's more of just being a bored thing. It just gives me something to do. So I still snack, but it's changing out those snack foods.
Mm-hmm.
So rather than eating a huge box of Cheez-Its, which are my weakness,
Oh God,
I'll just I'll just
damn
take a
those
little
things.
handful. Yeah, take a handful, walk away, chug some water, or eat some gum, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
just so you don't go over. But so yeah, it was cutting out a lot and just substituting healthier options for the junk.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, you've helped me a lot with the nutrition and just knowing things that are out there. Like the liquid aminos are like my best friend right now. I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
that. And
good.
I use it almost every day.
Yeah.
So just it's doing the research, talking to people, figuring out what are healthier options and
Mm-hmm.
not falling into the fads or the stuff that
Right.
people, say, oh, this is great right now, but they don't know the science behind it. Is it
Mm-hmm.
actually good for you? And that's what my husband is helping with. He has a science background. And so he's like, you got to really
Oh,
look into
great.
stuff
Yeah.
and not just listen to a commercial or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and take it just as is. So that's what I've been doing. I do a lot of research before I put something in my body.
Good, good. So what are your go-tos? Like, let's help the people of the internet. So what's like your go-to breakfast? Like, what's your favorite healthy breakfast that, fills you up, keeps you satiated for the day, maybe keeps your hunger, energy, and cravings in check?
So what I started with Fierce AF was just plain oats, like rolled oats, put them in the microwave for a few minutes, let them get thick. So it's kind of like rice almost if you're having like rice in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll put a fried egg over it and maybe some sauteed
Ooh, so
peppers
good.
and spinach, mushrooms. And then I'll put hot sauce or
Mm-hmm.
salsa. It has to be hot. I always have to hot sauce and everything. And it keeps me full
Yeah.
for hours. I mean, it keeps me going. And so that's been my
Mm-hmm.
go-to for several months now, actually. So I love it. Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Good, good.
And
So what is your, yeah, go for it.
oh no, go ahead. I think there's just a
I was just
delay.
gonna say, what is your, yeah, I know a little bit there. Yes, totally. So we're working with that. The squirrels in my internet are like, um, what is the most fun for you in terms of like the boot camp classes? So, or exercise in general, like just
Mhm.
exercise, fitness in general. What is your like, because a lot of people really dread that, or they dread like getting started because they're like, I'm going to be sore, it's going to hurt, it's going to be painful. Like, what do you look forward to the most?
I look forward to being sore actually because I feel like it works the best that way. It's the after effect. I love boot camp so much. It and that's what brings me back is because it's always changing,
Mm-hmm.
in a good way. I get bored very easily, and when that happens, it's not good. It means I need to move on. And I've never
Mm-hmm.
had that feeling with boot camp because you're always changing up the workouts. It's either you're working as a group or you're working solo. I like both. You're working inside, you're working outside, flipping tires or whatever it is. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It always keeps you wanting more. So that's what I like the most about boot camp is the unexpected, the changing, and then just the overall effects of that. Different muscle, you're working different muscles you didn't realize you weren't working before when you're doing these different exercises. You're not just doing the
Mm-hmm.
same thing over and over again.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know. I get that way too. I get a little like, I need something. I need to switch it up, whether the order of the
Mhm.
exercises, because then it's challenging you in a different way, but yet still effective because we're keeping like the most important components there. But, the rep scheme or the timer or whatever is just to
Mhm.
keep you challenged in a different way. So I agree for
Right.
sure. For
Mhm.
sure. So what has your family like over the years maybe noticed about your changes? Or people that you work with, have they noticed or said much about it? What do you hear from outside
Mhm.
sources? Because we're typically our own worst critic. Like we don't think we see changes or we're not sure.
Yeah. I think they definitely see changes in my face.
Uh-huh.
Gaining weight, it always seems to come back in different ways and it leaves in different ways.
Yeah.
And so my face it's thinner. Definitely have more definition in my shoulders that I can tell. And you see that
Mm-hmm.
little muscle right there. So they can see,
Yeah, flex it, girl.
yeah, they can see just more muscle definition, I guess, and just overall, I always carry my weight evenly throughout my body. I don't have one particular area that's heavier than it. So I'm blessed in that way. But so I think just overall, they just see me slimming down, but doing it healthy,
Yeah.
not doing it all really fast, and they see it being kept off. So
Mm-hmm.
I get comments at work and stuff from people where I don't feel like some days I'm seeing a difference, or I feel like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, I overate this weekend, but then the next day people say, wow, you're looking great. So then that gives
Mm-hmm.
you that extra boost of confidence that you're like, okay, well, one cheat day is not going to really screw everything up. So
Right, right.
yeah.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Sometimes you need that psychological break too, which we try to build in for sure, so that way you're not feeling like crazy deprived. So, I know you
Yeah.
did boot camp for a long time without actually hopping over to the dark side of one of the transformation programs.
Oh yeah.
And so, what do you feel like? Because I know we worked together a lot. We went back and forth via email and worked on your macros and stuff like that. So I feel like there were some really pivotal like light bulb moments for you. So what do you feel like you learned in that 6 week time span that has stuck with you, that has been impactful? Because I know you lost, I think it was 12-ish pounds, something like that.
14.
14.
Mhm.
Oh, okay,
Mhm.
awesome. I was off by a couple. So yeah, 14 pounds. We won't
Mhm.
miss those extra two um,
Yeah.
with Fierce AF. So that's great. So what do you think was the shift? Because you were doing great with exercise. Obviously, you were able to get off quite a significant amount of body fat
Mhm.
on your own. So what was the shift for you?
I think the two biggest changes was focusing on the macronutrients. I was aware of macronutrients. I just didn't using my Fitness Pal app. I don't know. Everyone seems to be so focused on the calories and staying on the calories, but you don't realize the macronutrients are the most important, and you got to work on those first. So I think when
Mm-hmm.
you brought that to my attention, that's what really for me that I still use to this day. I make sure I get the macros first, and I worry about everything else later. So that I think made a
Mm-hmm.
huge difference was targeting the macronutrients, and then every single day doing that what did we call it, the bonus lap, the victory lap is what we called it. So starting to run
Yeah.
more, that was I think made a huge difference. I did that every day, made sure I didn't miss it, and it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
developed this kind of love for running right now. I'm starting to getting back to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think those two
Fun. That's
things
great that
that
you
I
enjoy it.
did different. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And we also we became aware, right, together collectively as a group, the impacts of alcohol in terms of like where it
Oh,
fits in your macros. And you were still, I'm
mhm.
not throwing you under the bus, girlfriend, because I love me some wine. but we
Oh,
do know how that tends to without being mindful, I don't want to say like monitoring or like obsessively tracking,
mhm,
but knowing that, like, because I have a lot of clients who are like, well, what about a glass of wine a night and this and that. And
Yeah.
although that's totally feasible when you're counting macros, right? You know that
Mhm.
it eats up your macros really, really fast,
Yes.
which is not fun if you like food. And
Mhm.
then
Yeah.
it's also tracked a little bit differently because it's not digested the same as regular carbohydrates in the body. So
Mhm.
so that's factored in. But also, like, alcohol's like the gateway drug, right? Like, you just want more snacks
Oh yeah.
after you have a
Yeah.
glass of wine, or so for most people, some people it kind of blunts their appetite,
Mhm.
but for most, I find it works the other way. So we got that
Yeah.
also factored in as well, and I think all those things combined made a huge difference for you, and it was really awesome to watch the changes.
Yeah, I must have blocked out me giving up alcohol for those 6 weeks because I forgot to mention that. I forgot to mention that probably played a huge part in it as well, is I cut
Yeah.
alcohol for the whole 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a big change. It's what do I do now? Finding something to fill the time, if you're doing it
Yeah.
socially, or
Mm-hmm.
with family. So, I started drinking sparkling water,
Mm-hmm.
which was nice. It made
Mm-hmm.
you put a lime in it, makes you feel like it's a cocktail. But
Fancy.
I'm a huge
Yeah.
wine drinker. So, I did
Mm-hmm.
miss it, but I liked seeing the results because I wasn't drinking
Yeah.
alcohol. So that I liked more during that 6 weeks. So,
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Well, my one of the last final questions I like to ask is if you could look back at the Amanda before, even way
mhm.
back when, right? The Amanda that was just like not knowing where to start, not knowing what to do. What advice would you give to her or somebody who is a friend of yours who's just terrified to get started with anything? Not necessarily even being Venus, just like getting exercise, getting started, eating right, something. What advice, what like three things would you tell somebody who was absolutely stuck in getting started doing something?
Yeah.
Advice,
I would
some
say think about, well, what do you have to lose other than weight? You're not going to regret it. Getting started,
mm-hmm,
you're only going to lose, say, your inhibitions. You're going to lose weight, but you're going to gain confidence. You're going to gain energy. That was huge. You're going to sleep better. So it's just give it a shot.
mm-hmm,
You don't have to go beast mode, first day. You just do what you feel comfortable and gradually go up from there. And
mm-hmm.
if you listen to your body, that's the most important. Don't go, too fast, too hard, too fast. But with boot camp, the coaches are great. They always give you a modifier to the exercises, which I use. I mean, I may look like I'm killing it, but I struggle a lot with my lower back. And so sometimes I
Mm-hmm.
use those modifiers, so not every day is going to be pushing it to the limit. But you got to at least try. You got to get one foot in there in the door
Mm-hmm.
and at least try. And if you don't like it, then switch to something else. But you're never
Mm-hmm.
going to know what you do like or what's going to make you happy unless you try. So
Yes,
I just probably more than
for
three
sure.
things, but
That's
just
okay.
kind of
No, like you're
summarize
getting
it.
me pumped up. Like I want to go work out right now. So no, it's great.
I
It's
know.
great.
I wish I
Um,
did today. Yeah. Mhm.
um, so last question. I'm kind of putting you on the spot. This is gonna be the last question. So what is next for Amanda? What are your next big goals? Like, what do you have planned? Anything? Should we set a goal publicly and hold you accountable?
I know what you're thinking. I know. I've been going back and forth with a particular goal that I would love to do. And that would be to do what you've just done and do a body competition, figure competition. I've been thinking
Mhm.
about it for a very long time. My friends and family know I talk about it a lot. And having it see
Uh-huh.
you do it just up close and personal is something that I never thought I would experience, but I want to be part of that world. I want to know what that feels like. I never thought I
Mhm.
could imagine myself that way, just being very lean and cut and uh, but I think it's something that I can achieve, and I know it's something that I want to do. So it's a matter of
Mm-hmm.
time of when I can do it, but there's no limits. It doesn't matter what age you
Right.
are. I've realized that, that you can do
Mm-hmm.
it no matter what age you are or where you are at in life. You just got to put your
Mm-hmm.
mind to it and you can do it. So that is a goal of mine. Still debating on when to get that started. Because I
I
still am.
know.
Yeah, it's with the family too. It's how much can you
Yeah.
dedicate yourself and still balance, the family and the job. Because I know, watching you go through it, just part time, me watching you go through it, how much it takes to dedicate to the gym and your nutrition. But it's not something
Mm-hmm.
completely out of this world that I can't do. I know I could
No,
do it. It's just a matter of time.
you
So
totally could do it.
yeah.
You totally
So
could do
yeah,
it.
so that would be a
You
goal.
have already the foundation of discipline, which is an incredibly important foundation that when I coach clients, I now will make sure that they have that set in stone. So they're not going from I have never worked out to like I want to do a competition in 12
Yeah.
weeks, you know? So you have that foundation for discipline. You already have the time, have made the time to train. So that's in place. You already get the fundamentals of nutrition. So it's literally just doing the work now, getting in the gym, putting on the
Hmm.
muscle, and then going
Right.
12 to 14 weeks of hardcore shred mode. And I don't know, I kind of know someone that can help you
Yeah.
with that. So, you know,
I think so. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we'll talk offline for sure further about that when the time comes and you're ready. So you know where to
Okay.
find me. I got your back, girlfriend. So totally. But
Thank you.
we're super proud of you. You're like a shining star in the studio. We love having you in
Oh,
class. We know that you're always going to kick ass every time you come. You always put in like 1000% effort when you're there. Like every minute you squeeze out of class and you're always super effective. So we acknowledge you for that. And we love
thank
having
you.
you there. And the girls love having you in class in terms of being partners with them. It motivates them. I've heard that so many times, like, oh, it's motivating to be with Amanda because she's always working so hard. So just know that people are saying that in the background about you just because you're super beast mode and we love it. So
Oh, thank
yes,
you.
you're welcome.
They
You're welcome.
motivate me, honestly. I
Yeah.
look at every single one of them, all of them, Lauren, and I mean, she's like, we lift heavy stuff. I like working out next to her. But
Mm-hmm.
all the girls, they motivate me to keep pushing, and they're so encouraging. And so, I tend to be a little more on the quiet side at boot camp,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just I just like to focus, but I love hearing the girls talk and have fun and laugh,
Yeah.
and I like to engage with them, and it's a good time. So I love them too.
Good. Good. Awesome.
Mhm.
Well, it was so fun having you. Thank you so much for being on GTV episode number 5, Amanda Clausen. Woo
Thank
woo!
you.
You did great this round of
Thank
first AF.
you.
So thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the studio. I'm sure in the next few days because you're part of the furniture there, like everyone else.
I
so
I know that
so
that barbell has my name on it.
it totally has your name on it. More are coming.
Yeah.
Squat racks are coming. So much fun shit is coming on the horizon. I can't wait. So you're gonna love it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
totally. Totally.
Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
Amanda, you have a beautiful rest of your Labor Day, and I will see you at
Mhm.
Venus.
Thank you.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye.
Bye. Oops.